Welcome everybody to another World of Tanks replay. My name is Maxwell and this one is from the user Harpentai. He's driving the T-29 on a standard battle on Fisherman's Bay. T-29 is a Tier 7 heavy tank for the Americans, one of the darlings of the American heavy line as well. Probably one of my most favourite tanks in the game, and definitely one of my favourite tanks at tier, well, it is my favourite tier, so then I may have to take control of the camera. Lining up at this T-34 immediately. Like he's just slid behind the house, but luckily gets rammed a little bit by that M5 Stewart, and that allows Harpentai to get the kill on him. Very quick kill now, and then going to be continuing on his journey to the city. So if, like I said earlier, apologies about the camera control. Harpentai seems to enjoy rolling the middle mouse button forwards and backwards as he drives around. As such, it may make a few people motion sick, so like I said, I'm probably going to take control of the camera for a lot of this replay. And just allow him control when it is required. Gets a great shot at the OI experimental and bounced one in return. OI does have a decent gun, but it looks like he fired at the T-29's turret. Going to come around the left-hand side of this house for some reason, and then going to be heading off across the field. Not really sure what got into his mind there, but he just took a big couple of hits there, and then he is taken out. That's two very quick kills so far for Harpentai. Nobody really on the left-hand side. The Allied tanks have the middle pretty much sewn up, and the tanks on the right are holding their ground. So Harpentai is going to move forward now. Going to try and see who he can find. Gets a great shot through the side of that E2 Sherman. Got a Chaffee and an IS on the right. Chaffee's not going to pose very much of a threat whatsoever. Just waiting to see if this E2 decides to poke his head back out. Takes a hit from the left-hand side, so just going to back off ever so slightly to try and put a house between himself and wherever that shot came from. Looks like the IS is sick. Comes charging forward. Harpentai gets a 0 damage critical, but bounces one in return. Going to try and put his next shot through the road wheel of this IS before he can reload. Looks like the IS does have the stock gun, or at least a gun that doesn't have very high penetration. So he's finding it very, very difficult to penetrate this T-29 that doesn't have fantastic frontal armor. Now he gets taken out, and he becomes Harpentai's kill number 3. This E2 Sherman still playing pretty cagey. Chaffee has fallen as well. E2 starts to back away. Harpentai just holding his shot until he knows he can land the hit. There we go. That is kill number 4, and that is the right-hand flank completely won. Although the left-hand flank isn't faring particularly well, even though the Allies did look like they had at least comparable numbers to the enemy. As you can see, 4 tanks fallen over there. So Harpentai sees what's going on and starts to double back towards the cap circle. Going to offer some support. The rest of the team going to be moving in on the enemy base by the looks of it. It looks like there is some determined defense over there, as they're not making very good progress across the field. In fact, it looks like they're not making any progress whatsoever across the field. All of them just electing to sit in sort of camping positions and just play it safe. Harpentai was trying to get a shot on this T-25-2 there. Not quite able to find him. Looks like he is just on the other side of the hill there. Not going to be able to find a hit on him. There's no reason for him to come over this side of the hill, considering that his base is being pushed from that right-hand side. And the Allies have started finally to make their move across the open field, but it may be too late. It looks like some of the tanks that were pushing down the 1-2 line saw what happened on the right-hand flank and have now gone back to defend their base rather than push on towards the Allied base. So we'll just speed this one up just a little bit. Finds the T-34, going to get a shot onto him and take him out for kill number 5. Now there's a KV-1 squaring off against their KV-1. Harpentai takes a hit, but that one does something like 31 damage. It looks like the KV-1 is firing high explosive ammunition. So Harpentai just going to close him down, going to allow his own KV-1 to soak up the hits. Looks like the enemy KV-1 doesn't have a derp gun, but is loading high explosive ammunition for some reason. Harpentai comes in for the ram, gets a lovely bit of damage onto his side, and then takes another shot to set him on fire, and that's kill number 6 and a Top Gun medal. Well-deserved Top Gun medal as well. Now Harpentai and this KV-1 are going to have to stick together as they try and move in on the enemy base. There's a squad of T-29 still left alive for the Allies, although he gets taken out by the OI Experimental. And it looks like the enemy team all camping in the 1-2 line on the AB section. They do outnumber the Allies 4-2 at the moment. Harpentai is in a pretty good position. He's got almost full health, lost less than 100 hit points. He's going to move in on the base. Does find the 25-2, but it looks like he's just behind the house there. Not able to land a shot. The KV-1 looks like he's staying safe on this left-hand side. I don't really think he's taking any fire either. Harpentai just going to back off a little bit more to try and flank around the right-hand side of this T-25-2. Hopefully he'll remain relatively stationary. Harpentai can take it by surprise. Going to come at him from the side here. Type T-34 squaring off against the KV-1. And play it ever so carefully here. T-25-2 has indeed not moved. Takes him out for kill number 7. KV-1 still alive. Harpentai's almost certainly spotted, so he's got to expect some fire from this OI Experimental at some point. The enemy Cromwell is having a great game as well. He's also got himself 6 kills. KV-1 firing at the T-34. Takes him out. Now Harpentai lines up his gun at this OI Experimental. He hasn't been spotted, so he's got all the time in the world. That is kill number 8. That's a Radley Walters medal. And that just leaves this enemy Cromwell somewhere lurking over on this right-hand side. No, it looks like he's actually started a base capture. So it looks like they're going to have to try and get back now. Try and stop this one. We're just going to speed this one up just a little bit. As you'll see, the Cromwell's actually ditched out of the cap circle. So Harpentai heads all the way back to the base, and it is to no avail. The Cromwell isn't here anymore. So Harpentai going to take a route through the city since the KV-1 had the left-hand side covered. He's going to cover the right-hand side to try and find this Cromwell. And at some point soon, they're going to have to start becoming mindful of the time limit remaining. There's only 4 minutes. Harpentai's asking if the KV-1 can defend while he himself goes for the cap. KV-1 going to try and block off that 1-2-3 line. As Harpentai starts to approach the cap circle. You can see fire starting to come in now. He's obviously been spotted. Looks like the Cromwell can't pick out a weak spot though. That one just bouncing uselessly off the front there. We go, that one did do some damage. Now Harpentai has got to make the decision whether he should hide behind this corpse and try and cap, or whether he should try and close down the Cromwell. The Cromwell is now a one-shot if he gets a decent roll. So he decides he's going to just try and push down on him. He's got the KV-1 to come in from the Cromwell's left-hand side. He's going to try and run around these rocks with him. Does take some fire from that Cromwell. Could not return fire, as he didn't have the Cromwell spotted. Cromwell's going to play this one really cagey now. Like I said, he's got the KV-1 coming in from the left, although the KV-1 doesn't look like he's moving, and he is in fact taking fire from the Cromwell. So Harpentai's going to have to get here pretty quick, or this KV-1 is going to fall. KV-1 does go down. That just leaves Harpentai against this Cromwell. All he needs is one shot. There is 2 minutes on the clock, so they could do this for a while. Excuse me, I actually skipped forward in the replay there. I don't know what's going on. My finger's in the wrong place. I'm pressing the wrong buttons. Does take a hit from the Cromwell. Trying to lure him out. It's not quite working. There's probably no way to be able to get a base capture done now, so the idea is just to run around the rocks until one of them makes a mistake. Although Harpentai does have over 700 hit points left, which is about 6 shots for the Cromwell. So Harpentai is going to be able to make 6 mistakes. Whereas the Cromwell can only really make 1. And that'll be curtains if Harpentai can punish him. Hasn't quite got the speed to catch the Cromwell out in the open. They are really just going to run around the rocks, trying to get this Cromwell to make a mistake. Not quite able to pick him out. Like I said, all this is about is just being patient, trying to make sure that the enemy makes a mistake before you do. Falls back so that he's in the fog of war there, and the Cromwell comes out from the right-hand side, and he gets the shot, and he gets the kill. An excellent, excellent piece of play to finish off there from Harpentai. Just falling back enough so that he falls back into the fog of war, and then he's able to come up with the kill. So awesome replay there from Harpentai, getting himself 9 kills, 2,500 damage, and a well-deserved victory. So awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, send that into replay@screenreality.com. Link for that's in the description. I've been Maxwell. This has been a Wall of Tanks replay, and I'll catch you guys next time.